Good evening and welcome. What better place to gather with your family this hour than the network service of the NTA? You know why? It's time for Newsline, your Sunday tonic and passport to the heart of the nation. I am Claire Adelabu Abdurrazak. Thank you for joining us once again. If stories were dishes, tonight's menu would certainly raise eyebrows, I tell you. We may not be serving bags of jollof rice, but there's definitely something sizzling on the plate for everyone. Imagine, for instance, visiting a town here in Nigeria, only to find that your favorite swallow, pounded yam, is not just off the menu, but treated like a contraband. Then, of course, there's the child who outwitted the grave, or rather, should I say, a grave that simply could not hold him captive. Plus, the little hero whose fearless fight with retina cancer could humble even giants. And that's not all. We'll bring you stories of resilience, tales that celebrate our cultural heritage, and even a touch of royalty with milestone birthdays. And since today, Sunday, the 14th of September, also happens to be OPEC's birthday. Yes, you heard me, OPEC, reminding us how oil still seasons the world's table. I, as your pilot and cabin crew, promise you a well-spiced Newsline tonight. So, fasten your seatbelts as we prepare for takeoff with a new segment. All right, welcome everyone. This is Newsline, and we begin. Not long ago, Newsline brought to you the heartbreaking story of 4-year-old Mubarak Yakini from Abuja, a lively young child whose bright world was dimming fast due to retinal cancer. Now, his parents, overwhelmed by medical bills, made a desperate plea for help on our program here. And in a remarkable show of compassion, a good-spirited Nigerian answered that call and fully sponsored Mubarak's life-saving surgery. Now, in a story of hope, healing, and gratitude, Deko Agbonde revisited Abeokuta to bring us an uplifting update on Mubarak's new lease of life. A proof that kindness can rewrite not just a child, anyone's destiny.
Just a few months ago, in February 2025 to be precise, Mrs. Bukala Yakini walked into the Ogbe premises of NTA Abeokuta, touching the end of her 4-year-old son, Mubarak. Their faces told a story of fear and desperation. Mubarak was battling a life-threatening retinal cancer, and the family needed over 5 million naira for urgent treatment. When their story aired on Newsline, something remarkable happened. A compassionate Nigerian came forward to lift the family out of their darkest moments. All fees for surgery, chemotherapy, and other medical expenses were paid in full. The life-saving operation was successfully performed at the Olabisi Onabanjo University Teaching Hospital, Shagamu.
The last time we came for the interview for Yakini Adiola Mubarak, I received a call from Canada and said that we saw you on television. Now I was just like, which television is that? I forgot that I came to NTA. So they showed the thing on the Newsline. So the following day I received a call from Abuja, and the woman spoke with me that there are some people who want to do help on it, and we gave them the bill, and they have fulfilled the bill. They have paid the hospital, they have paid for everything for the surgery.
8 months later, Newsline crew visited the Yakinis at their modest home in Abeokuta. What we found was nothing short of heartwarming. Mubarak, once frail and fighting for life, is now free from the life-threatening cancer. For the first time, his parents publicly revealed the identity of the benefactor.
I want to appreciate our Vice President who helped me and my son, Abdul Mubarak. I am very grateful. God will continue to take care of every of his endeavor.
From the seat for the hospital, they let me know that it's Vice President Shetima that is paid for all the treatment for the Shagam for Osut Olabisi Onabanjo for Mubarak, as he helped Mubarak for because of that eyes that is come out that time. And then now Mubarak don't be okay. And then if you see the camera, you will see the Mubarak eyes say he'll be okay now. I really appreciate our past president. Thank you very much.
With the siege of cancer over and hope restored, little Mubarak is preparing to return to school, a future that once seemed out of reach. His parents say words can hardly capture their gratitude for the life-changing support. The Yekini family's story is a reminder that kindness can change the course of a life, and that even in the midst of despair, help can come when least expected.
Wow, I'm glad I'm also part of this story. You know, that's the kind of surgery that does not just heal the eye, it also restores confidence and faith, not just in our leadership, but also in humanity. And to Vice President Shatima, we say thank you for stepping in when and where it truly mattered. Now, some time ago, Newsline also reported the heartbreaking story of a day-old baby that was found buried alive in Kamba, the local government area of Kebbi State. Now, by sheer providence, that infant survived after being rescued by a family. That's Mohammed Kabiri, who discovered the child on his own land. Now, in a new development, the Kebbi State Police Command has apprehended the baby's mother after a thorough investigation. She's now in custody as the case unfolds, but raising fresh conversations around survival justice and circumstances that led to the tragic incident. Abdul Jalil Mohammed Bawa has an update for us.
It was a cry that pierced powerful enough to draw the attention of a farmer in Kamba, Kebbi State. I'm sure it's still fresh in the minds of those that heard it, either live or via the media. Wrapped in rags and buried in a shallow grave, the newborn was only a few hours old when fate intervened. The disturbed earth caught the farmer's attention, and beneath, he discovered life fighting for survival. Thanks to his quick response, the baby was rushed for urgent medical care and miraculously survived. The Kebbi State Police Command immediately began investigations, and before long, 20-year-old Mariam Atiku of Nasarawa area in Kamba, the local government area, was arrested.
We succeeded in arresting the suspect named Mariam Atiku of Kamba, from Nasarawa area Kamba. And our call to the members of the public is to desist from such ugly acts, as the command has zero tolerance against child abuse, exploitation, or any form of gender-based violence.
In the midst of this heart-wrenching episode, hope emerged. The farmer who found the child, Alhaji Muhammadu Kabiru, and his wife have adopted the baby as their own.
She's taking milk and I'm breastfeeding her. So after each hour, I feed her. Once you see her crying, it's food she needs.
The wife of Kebbi State Governor, Hajiana Serena Sur Idris, also extend hands of support, providing medical and financial assistance for the child's upkeep. Today, the once abundant baby is thriving, growing healthier each day, with no complications reported. From a shallow grave to a home filled with love, her story has become a symbol of resilience, compassion, and the responsibility we all share towards the most vulnerable among us. For now, all eyes remain on the court, waiting for justice to take course.
And the grave could not hold her captive. Now imagine living in a community where the glow of daylight and the warmth of a loved one's face are only memories. Now this is the reality in a small settlement in Bauchi State. Here, most adults are blind, navigating life in total darkness. Mariamu Bala journeys into the heart of the community to reveal the struggles, resilience, and hopes of these people, and also investigate the mystery behind their mass blindness.
Is Angwom Makafi, literally translated as the community of the blind. Here, most of the residents are visually impaired adults, sustaining themselves through small-scale trading and hawking in a crowded slum-like environment. But why the name Ongwa Makafi? What is the history behind it?
Ongwa Makafi is part of Dawaki ward in Bauchi local government area. So during the Mujumbo administration around early 60s, all blind people were moved out from their real settlement and settled there.
They may have inherited this disease. So, but this one usually you can have to find out they get those like inheritable cataract or inheritable retinal dystrophies. This condition can be inherited from parents to children, like those congenital cataract. So you found out that if you examine those patients, actually you found out that they have cataract and which can be treated.
Over the years, the area grew, yet essential social amenities and government intervention remain scarce.
Government to continue to help the visual handicap, either deaf or blind or crippled, to give them education free.
Help our children with what to do so that they do not beg like we are doing. Some have certificates, but nothing to do.
Because they are not considering the people, because the area is a poor area.
We are children of the blind. Let our children's school be repaired. Some children do not go to school.
Walking through the settlements, I noticed mostly adults. There were no visually impaired children. It raised a question: is the blindness here inherent or acquired later in life?
Another disease that can be inherited may be familial from glaucoma. Though some people may have glaucoma from their parents, their children, and initially when they get back to them, they may be seen, but as they age, the condition worsen, particularly if they don't seek medical intervention. For the younger generation living in these settlements, the needs go far beyond sympathy. What they truly require are opportunities, access to education, skill acquisitions, and empowerment programs that can break the cycle of poverty and vulnerability. Though the name of the area Ongwa Makafi has come to stay, the name or the situation can be changed only if individuals, non-governmental organizations, and well-meaning Nigerians could come to the aid of this community to see that a hope is brought to the community and the children given a future.
Wow, I think that really needs thorough research and investigation. Now, let me take you to Ibuku community in Anambra State, where residents are still reeling from the shocking discovery of a young man chained by his own father for 4 years. Now, the 25-year-old victim was subjected to inhumane treatment under the guise of curbing his drug addiction and unruly behavior. Now, beyond the act itself, the case raises troubling questions about desperation, stigma, and the thin line between discipline and abuse. Now, while the father insists it was an act of tough love to save his son, the community and rights advocates say it as a violation of human dignity. Chinyere Fesyokoye has the story.
This is the ancient town of Ibuku in Agwata local government area of Anambra State, where the recent online trending video and story of a 25-year-old man who was allegedly chained by the father for about 4 years emanated from. Why was Chibo subjected to this kind of acts, many described as inhuman treatment?
Since I gave birth to him, I have been suffering. He takes hard drugs. He has bad gang. He takes Miri. He said he wanted to be a driver, so I bought a car for him. But after a short time, he removed everything in the car, including the air conditioner, and sold it. I bought a brand new motorcycle for him. He sold it and bought a Jaguar. Then he sold the Jaguar. He pushed me down, trying to kill me with a knife, so I sent him to stay with his sister. We chained him to see if he could calm down.
This is the place where I keep him. That band gang come here and bring the hard drugs. Then I carry it, go keep for my house. I'm given food. We share him because of one kill my father and me with my children.
In a bid to get all angles and sides to the story, the Newsline crew was at the palace of the custodian of culture of the town, down to the secretariat of Ibuku Development Union.
The youths felt challenged to find out what is the welfare position of their member. That was what led our man to lead his men, his boys, to go and find out. Unfortunately, they saw the restraining of the young man's freedom. The first effort they did as a community was to take him to the hospital. At the end of the day, the doctor confirmed that yes, nothing has gone wrong with him physically, but that he needed some special rehabilitation measures. So I advised my team to go down to Neu and keep him there after putting him in a very good order. And the last person that went to see him, the report he gave to us is excellent, that he's in good order.
The Anambra State Commissioner of Police, Ikioye Rotugu, who commended the action of the youths, who applied the security mantra of when you see something, say something, and government will do something, stated that no matter what, the victim's father has no moral justification or right to put the son in chains for 4 years or more.
The investigation is still ongoing. We are going to look at it psychologically, economically, culturally. We are happy that our efforts at engaging community is giving fruits.
NTA will keep you up to speed on further developments.
Absolutely, Chinyere, thank you. You know, sometimes when we try to cage a problem, we forget that the real, chains are inside the mind. I think that's just what happened. All right. This story says, audacity of vision is when you do something that has never been done before, but even more so, doing it in an extraordinary way. Now, on the 12th of September, 2025, a Nigerian chef, Hilda Bassey, attempted to set a Guinness World Record for cooking the largest pot of jollof rice ever. How did it go? Adejoke Odeka was there.
Being a world record holder means one has attained global recognition, inspires greatness with unleashed pride, and Hilda Bassey is one of the few. The determination shown by participants to gain entry into the cooking venue was striking, almost as if they were vying for a coveted job opportunity or sitting for a critical examination. The ambience was a blend of excited fans who were eager to watch the cooking process, catch fun, and just wanted to cheer their idol.
The first one that she did, I was there. So this one, I said I must be there. Yeah, I was very curious to see how she was going to pull this whole thing off.
I came all the way from the north to be here, to participate, to be among those witnessing this history. She's my role model, and I wish to do something like this too someday in the north.
Jollof rice continues to capture hearts, and amid the lingering buzz of World Jollof Rice festivities, Hilda Bassey, with her extraordinary pursuit, mirrors the resilient Nigerian spirit.
She's pushing her boundaries, encouraging young girls to push themselves beyond what they think their limits are.
Although the mixing of the condiments began in the afternoon, 200 bags of 20 kg rice was added hours later, setting the stage for the spectacular jollof rice to take shape.
Despite your limitations, that you can actually do the impossible if you only believe.
Thoughtful planning ensured a vibrant experience, with food stands offering tasty treats, robust health and safety protocols, and other entertaining activities. And if you think the cheering was wasted effort, it wasn't, because many went home with cash prizes and gifts. For Hilda Bassey, this achievement would cement Nigeria's culinary stature in Africa and inspire individuals worldwide, showcasing passion and cultural pride.
I feel so much gratitude. I'm so grateful to God, because without him we would not have been able to do this.
Despite the fact that the 6 by 6 feet cooking pot caved in slightly, Bassey did not let it quench her fire. And like Hilda Bassi, every other person is waiting for the result of her attempt, which goes to show that it is possible to take on audacious challenges and overcome.
You know, someone said, that's not just a meal, that's foreign policy. You imagine the kind of diplomacy we'll get with that kind of 200 bags of rice. Wow. That's the... All right, welcome back. Now, I warned you at the start of this program that it's not just food. We are having sizzling story dishes on your plate tonight. Now, beyond food and music, the annual Port Harcourt, you call it Bole or Boli Festival, has evolved into a cultural marketplace where commerce meets creativity. Now, the event started as a small food exhibition. It has now become a one-stop shop for expression, entrepreneurship and entertainment, attracting people from all walks of life, from far and wide. This year, guess what? Guinness stormed the show with creativity and style, creating a platform for over 100 vendors and corporate brands to showcase their products. And who was there? Ijeoma Ugweke for Newsline.
It was a convergence of taste, rhythm, and culture, from the food to music, that attracted over 15,000 persons. Guinness this year is celebrating Port Harcourt's signature street food, known as bole and fish, with lots of activities that created opportunities to showcase the city's rich cultural heritage. This made the event a must-attend for foodies and culture enthusiasts.
The biggest festival in Port Harcourt. I've been hearing about it, but this is my first time of attending.
Next year we'll be here to support them. Let them go on doing it to keep patronizing Guinness back to back.
The evening was a bumper package with ample display of talented upcoming artists. At this 2025 edition of Bole Festival, Guinness treated those that attended to different brands of Guinness, such as Malta, Guinness Smooth, and Guinness Stout, of course with a caution for customers to drink responsibly.
One of the things Guinness has done is, of course, you know, when people hear Guinness, they think it's just the drink. But Guinness has deliberately created very exciting experiences around the festival village. We have partnered with some chefs to create Guinness-infused bole in order to showcase many more ways to enjoy Guinness.
Kids were not left out of the show, as Indomie created a booth where interesting games entertained them. At the heart of the festival is Bole Village, where roasted plantain was served with spicy fish, yam, or potatoes. Whether you're a foodie or an explorer, the Bole Festival offers a plate for everyone.
Wow, you know what I'm doing? Anyway, for those who don't know what bole or bole is, it's roasted plantain with, of course, barbecued fish steeped in red pepper sauce. Very delicious. All right. Now, celebrating 91 birthday in good health and wealth is a blessing yearned for by many people, but bestowed on a few. Now, the Asama of Benin Kingdom, Chief Gabriel Osawari Benedio, the philanthropist, is the latest recipient of this divine blessing. Now, little wonder, nations joined the patriarch of the house of Ibenedio to thank God as he continues his beautiful journey to becoming a centenarian. Obehi Otopo Presai brings out sights and sounds of the celebration that climaxed with a Thanksgiving service in Benin.
From the first day of September, the palatial residence of the Esama of Benin becomes a pilgrim of a sort for well-wishers from all walks of life. Chief Igbenedion proves even on his birthday the testimonies of the millions of lives he has touched that he is indeed a gift to humanity as the lavish entertainment flows for all and sundry. The Esama's birthday is also a unifier for Christians and non-Christians alike who join the celebrant in an interdenominational service at the break of dawn to offer special prayers for the blessings of life.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost.
The 91st birthday anniversary of the Esama, fondly called the Lion of Okada, climaxed with a Thanksgiving service at the St. Gabriel's Catholic Church in Benin City.
The future must be brighter than this. I thank God for this to save me and preserve me. I'm very happy for the audience. Wonderful service.
I cannot but give all the glory to God for a wonderful day. The weather is beautiful. The family and friends and all the dignitaries that are here to the glory of God to celebrate a wonderful man.
Has been a strong pillar, not only for the family but for the society as a whole. So it's a continuous prayer that I continue to live a good life in good health.
My prayer is that he will go on to clock in 100, 110, 120, 130. We really appreciate him.
For he to have stayed up to 91, I give God the glory.
Esama is father to all. So living up to 91 is just the beginning.
We join him and his entire family to say, thank you, God.
His life has been powered by vision and service to humanity.
Chief Gabriel Osawao Igbenedion is nicknamed 001 for pioneering the nation's industrial sector and his vision in founding the first private university in Nigeria. His life's work embodies the spirit of enterprise and philanthropy, donating annually to humanitarian causes all around the world.
Congratulations to the Esama. Now, after years of keeping the numbers in check at the Nigerian Television Authority, one of its most familiar faces is taking a bow. Now, at 60, he is celebrating both his birthday and official retirement, marking the end of an active career, but the start of a new chapter. Who am I talking about? Mr. Patrick Bott, former Director of Finance, who colleagues and friends in Abuja came to honor for his integrity, humility, and service. Ekene Ndudwe covered the ceremony.
Meet Mr. Patrick Bott, until recently the Director of Finance at the Nigerian Television Authority, a man often described as the heartbeat behind the numbers. For decades, he steered the authority's finances with unwavering dedication, precision, and integrity. Now, having just retired at 60, the official retirement age in the Nigerian civil service, he marks both personal and professional milestone. And of course, it was a moment of emotions and memories as the NTA family came together not just to wish him well, but to celebrate a remarkable journey and the man behind it. For the Director General of NTA, the occasion was personal. He described Mr. Bott as a colleague and an integral part of his success story.
If my history should be written, of course, a page will be dedicated to Bott. He has done so much. Sometimes you tend to wonder whether he's in finance, in marketing, admin, PIG, or TVE. Because he belongs to everybody, but he belongs to no one. Because what he is after is achievement.
One after another, colleagues stepped forward with heartfelt tributes, sharing stories of his humility, commitment, and unifying spirit.
Many in the team have leaned on his wisdom, learned from his knowledge, and have been inspired by his commitment.
Every time you talk to Bot about one person or an issue, even when he cannot handle it, he gives very kind words.
Mr. Bot is a comedian. Hardly do you ever meet him without him cracking a joke. Even if he doesn't joke verbally, sometimes he even dances. So he always leaves a smile. Yes, he does.
When the man of the moment took the microphone, he did not disappoint. With his signature joviality, Mr. Bot lit up the room.
I'm retiring at 60, so I say, children, children. Children.
Known not only for his joviality, but also for his wisdom, Mr. Bot shared pieces of advice for his younger colleagues, encouraging them to embrace service, integrity, and teamwork.
Do your job like your life depends on it. Your job is the one thing that will speak for you any day, anytime.
And yes, he didn't walk away empty-handed. He definitely received a special gift to honor his years of service. As the birthday cake was cut, the room filled with smiles, handshakes, and good wishes from those he leaves behind.
Mr. Bot, this is my own handshake. Thank you. Now let's move on. Late Madam Eunice Antonia Oladun Kolodoye has been celebrated with warmth and gratitude. A devout Catholic Foundation member of Mary, Queen of Angels Parish, and founder of the St. Francisca Society. Now, her deep Mariam devotion earned her the nickname Omo Maria. She was also the first mother in the Ondo Diocese to have 2 sons ordained priests. Known for her humility, generosity, and strong faith, Mama Kolodoye's passing became a joyful celebration of her enduring legacy as family, friends, and parishioners gathered to honor a life well lived. Abiola Ariyo takes it from here.
The Sacred Heart Catholic Cathedral, Akure, Ondo State, overflowed with mourners as the faithful, led by 3 bishops, scores of Catholic priests, reverend sisters, and well-wishers gathered to pay their last respects to late Madam Eunice Oladun Kolodoye. Born 87 years ago into the Takura family of Ondo Town, Madam Kolodoye's life was deeply shaped by the Catholic Church. She went on to build a distinguished career in nursing, remembered for her compassion, resilience, selfless sacrifice, and love for humanity.
A joyful mother who gave glory to God, breathing the last breath on earth, and who commanded his children that parents should be marked by thanksgiving and joyful giving to God. Against all odds, she fought, she struggled to build a family for herself, and you can see what the family has become.
Our moving Thanksgiving service, led by our children, signaled the start of her final journey home.
She was really exceptional in her faith, that everybody will bear testimony to it. Even we, our sons, we find it absolutely difficult to reach that level of our own faith.
And not just about our faith, whatever she believes in, even in her profession as a nurse, she gave everything.
In a gesture to immortalize their mother's legacy, 2 of our sons announced the establishment of a scholarship fund for indigent nursing students, a heartfelt return of the kindness their mother received decades ago from a Catholic priest who sponsored our own training. Tears mixed with gratitude as the matriarch of the Kolodoye family was laid to rest at the church cemetery, with tributes echoing the virtues she stood for.
My mother really is a typical example and a typical model
of what you call a mother.
What I learned from her is to be resilient, She's a very determined woman, very, very focused.
She's like one of the most graceful and one of the most kindest women I've ever met.
Later at a warm reception, family members and guests celebrated Madam Kolidoye's remarkable life. Our children took turns to dance, a symbolic farewell and thanksgiving for our mother who lived fully and gave generously. Late Madam Eunice Oladun Kolidoye passed on August 2nd, 2025. She is survived by 4 sons, as well as grandchildren and other relatives who continue to uphold a legacy of faith.
Wow, fantastic. Now imagine what would happen if you sold or bought pounded yam in a community in Nigeria. And we hear it could bring tragedy to your doorsteps. That's the reality in Omupo and Igbomina town in Ifelodun local government area of Kwara State. Now, it's not just a question, but a deeply held belief for generations. So while pounded yam, known as Inyo in Yoruba, or Iriji or Sakwara in Hausa, Iriji in Igbo, it's one of Nigeria's most loved delicacies and indeed a source of income for countless food vendors nationwide. The people of Omupo have for generations forbidden its sale, convinced it invites, and wait for it, misfortune and affliction. Aisha Abubakar Yaya visited the town to really find out the mystery behind this enduring tradition.
And the yam, I just love eating it because I feel nature. I feel the nature of eating pounded yam.
Because it's one of our richest traditional food. So now I have a special passion for it.
Pounded yam, soft, fluffy and hot, a delicacy loved by millions of Nigerians. For many, it's a cultural experience, savored any day of the week. Many Nigerians satisfy their cravings for this local delicacy through food vendors. But in Omupo, an Igbomina community in Ifelodun local government area of Kwara State, this beloved dish carries a secret. It is a taboo to sell it. To get more insight into this phenomenon, I visited the palace of the Olomo of Omupo, His Royal Majesty, Oba Yakubu Adebayo Buhari. According to the monarch, the ban has existed for about 3 centuries. History recalls that those who tried to break the norm paid dearly for it.
There was an occasion when sellers of pounded yam were struggling to have customers. They started fighting. The fight was so serious that one of them used the pest she called Omudu to eat another seller who died immediately. And because of this, the Olonu there cost whoever bothered to sell pounded yam again in Omupo. We still eat pounded yam in Omupo. You can pound it in your house. If you give to somebody, if you during occasion, you can do that. But you cannot sell pounded yam in Omupo.
Ewu iyan odomu odotun asesegún iyan odomu odotun bante, which means second day a new pounded yam, we recycle it and we eat. It's even better than freshly pounded yam. So we cherish it too much. But because there is a standing order that we should not sell pounded yam, we adhere to it.
Whether it's taken as spiritual or otherwise, but it's a rule. The Alomoiles descendants generally adhere to that, and we follow it without missing with.
Immediately they start going to school, we let them know that, look, whenever you are throughout the world, please don't trade with pounded yam.
For food vendors in Omupo, it is a way of life they have chosen to live with, rather than risk generational misfortune.
If anyone sells pounded yam, the person would encounter backwardness, bad luck, or even death. I met it here as their tradition. I only sell rice, semo, and amala.
Though Umupo is a deeply religious town, its people have kept faith with this tradition, a blend of reverence for heritage and fear of affliction. So, when next you visit Umupo in Kwara State, remember, pounded yam is a home treasure here. You may be served at a family table, but you won't find it for sale with a food vendor.
Tradition has the final say in Umupo. But just one question. Can you buy it to eat if you're in other states? I'm just wondering. Now, Hobaran Shehu is a cradle of history, faith and culture, where the past continues to shape the present. Now, this revered monument stands as a premier tourist destination in Nigeria's Savannah region, and it is a center of scholarship and research. It is also the sacred resting place of Sheikh Usmanu Dan Fodio, the 19th century Islamic reformer, scholar and spiritual leader, whose teachings and movement founded the Sokoto Caliphate and continues to inspire millions across Africa and beyond. Now, visitors here step into a world of tradition, scholarship, and devotion. While pilgrims pay homage, students conduct research, and tourists marvel at its centuries-old architecture and, of course, the preserved relics. And that's why Asma Habibu Shagari took us on a guide through this landmark.
In the heart of the ancient city of Sokoto stands Hubaran Shehu, the sacred tomb and madrasa of Sheikh Usman Dan Fodio, the great Islamic scholar, reformer, and founder of the Sokoto Caliphate. The historical landmark is a living symbol of faith and a fountain of knowledge, drawing followers, scholars, and tourists from within and outside Nigeria. For many visitors, a trip to Hubaran Shehu, aside sightseeing, is also a spiritual journey, a chance to walk in the footsteps of the revered scholar and reconnect with the enduring values he preached over 2 centuries ago.
The essence of this visit is to seek for a blessing to our family and our neighbors. We are here to seek for the blessings of the late Sheikh.
Within the sacred grounds lie the resting places of Sheikh Usman Dan Fodio, his closest disciples, 8 sultans of Sokoto, and eminent scholars, making the Hubari both a spiritual and historical sanctuary.
Wannan gida akalla yanzu na da shekara 222 ko da 4 da kahuwa. Lalle a kitul amri. Shehu Dan Fodio Allah ya kara mai yarda ya bar garin Sifawa ya taho nan yayi zauna shekara 2 kafin Allah shi mai cikawa.
Sunan mallan ziyara tana da alfanu gare su. Saboda in ka zo nan ka roƙi abin da ka so ga Allah, Allah na biya maka bukatarka. Gurgudu kuma abin da ka roƙi Allah ya baka shi albarkan mujaddidi.
The Waziri Junaid History and Culture Bureau nearby preserves priceless manuscripts, artifacts, and weapons once used during the jihad, adding depth and authenticity to the Hubari story.
We are able to preserve the legacy of the jihadists, Sheikh Usman Dan Fodio, the leader of the jihadists, and also his son Muhammad Bello and his brother Mala Abdullah Ngwandu.
When you look at the literary works bequeathed by these jihad scholars, you can critically study them, look at them from so many disciplines, including security.
To the people of Sokoto, Hubaran Shehu is far more than a resting place, but a source of pride, identity, and legacy, a timeless reminder that the ideals of Sheikh Usman Dan Fodio remains relevant today.
On most days, the Isle of Onitsha main market bustles with buyers and sellers. Now, that, however, changed on Tuesday, the 9th of September, when gunfire erupted inside the market, resulting in the loss of life and many others injured. Now, many shops are yet to reopen since then, still traumatized and afraid. Uchenna Owekoyo takes us into the heart of the market to capture the determination of a community trying to heal.
What
What began a normal trading day at Onitsha Main Market on September 9, 2025, ended in a shock and mourning. Traders had opened their stalls with high hopes of sales and profit. But by midday, panic replaced the usual bustle as gunshots rang out along Bright Street in the heart of the market. At the center of the tragedy was 22-year-old Miss Chinwe Igwe, a sales girl from Ikwo local government area of Ebonyi State. Friends and co-workers describe her as hardworking, cheerful, and full of dreams. Those dreams were cut short when she became the fatal victim of the day's violence. Witnesses allege that the shooting occurred during an enforcement exercise by Operation Clean and Healthy Anambra Ocha Brigade. The outfit was reportedly decongesting market roads when a misunderstanding with traders escalated. Amidst the confusion, 5 people were injured and Chinwe Igwe lost her life.
One of the security men cock gun and shoot. So my neighbor's sales girls was one of the victims.
My brother is among the victims. The bullet hit in 5 places, 4 at the shoulder, 1 near the neck.
At least if you want to pack somebody's business, if you park, then the person will come with, the person will register his goods. But this one, they will just go and pack everything, go and put inside the motor.
One of their head, Kaban, we are telling them that they should take everything easy, you understand? They should not release any gun because people were plenty there along the line. Before me, just before me, the man was standing before me. What I heard was gunshots.
Police Public Relations Officer, Anambra State Police Command, confirms the death and ongoing investigation. Governor Charles Soludo quickly visited and consoled the grieving family. He promised a thorough probe to uncover the immediate and remote causes of the shooting.
We're trying so much, so hard to bring back law and order in this state. But in doing so, we must also respect the sanctity of life.
Traders are still in shock. They accused the Ocha Brigade of high-handedness and excessive force during operations.
When they go inside the shop, they just start carrying goods, put inside motor.
And they are carrying my market worth of 1.5 million. I don't know where it is. We have been walking around, going many places. They say they don't know.
When contacted, Ikem Anere, the state commander of the Ocha Brigade, said he could not make public comments until investigations are concluded. For traders at Onitsha Main Market, the incident is a painful reminder of the thin line between enforcement and protection, and of the urgent need to place human life at the center of public service.
You're watching Newsline. Let's quickly take a break. Now, from the heart of Maiduguri in Borno State comes the inspiring story of a man whose journey reflects resilience, ingenuity, and the spirit of local creativity. He is Buba Aminu, the visionary cobbler who transformed a humble trade into a celebrated craft, earning him the Herbert Wigwe Award of Excellence for Outstanding MSME Clinics Participant at the 7th National Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Awards held here in Abuja. He was presented with a car and a cash prize of 2 million naira. Recognition and reward is a testament to his lifelong dedication to shoe making. Tina Toro tells the story of a man who turns leather into legacy.
In Maiduguri, the name Buba Shoes has become synonymous with resilience, skill, and originality. Buba Aminu still shapes leather into timeless footwear and bags while shaping lives through the craft he has mastered for more than 4 decades.
I started as an apprentice in 1971 in one multi-million pounds company owned by the Northern Nigeria. The company was established in Kano.
From a modest workshop, he built a brand defined by quality and honesty, with every stitch reflecting persistence. For him, shoemaking is more than a trade. It's a life journey that began in 1980 with nothing but determination and a dream.
You go to any shop, big shop in Maiduguri here, you can see our product, but you cannot see our name. Only God knows what they are telling the customers. It's only sometimes when a customer comes here, he will see it. Now, here you are producing this. I say, yes, we produce something like this here.
Challenges of scarce materials, tough competition, and customers' demand never deterred him. Instead, they strengthened his resolve.
Right now, I have an order from Chad Republic to produce a certain design. I'm only gathering the materials to produce for them. But you see, we are having problem like since morning, it's only when about you come here that we go to like here.
His workshop became a training ground, producing shoemakers armed with skill, discipline, and hope for self-reliance. To many, Buba is more than a craftsman. He is a mentor and an inspiration.
I've learned how to do qualitative work, on how to fulfill promises to customers, and I can even train many people over it.
Even I got government job or an office, I will continue using this work to feed myself.
I am happy acquiring shoemaking skills, even though it is often considered a male trade. So doing what is good for me.
I started here as an apprentice, and now I am employed, earning a living through this craft.
Part of his success is linked to visibility, with NTA Maiduguri once designed his signboard, now standing proudly across the city as a symbol of legacy.
First on top you will see on the signboard is that shoe. That shoe is the beginning of the name Buba Shoes Factory. So I'm proud of NTA.
Today, his story is not just about personal achievements, but a celebration of creativity, resilience, and the power of hard work. For Buba Aminu, shoemaking has never been just about shoes or bag. It has always been about crafting possibilities stitch by stitch.
Tinaturu, thank you. Now, beneath the rocky and rugged landscape of Plateau State, a new generation of young miners is emerging, driven not just by survival, but also a desire to secure a future for themselves, now their communities, as well as the nation's development. Now, across the teen city of Jos and its environs, these youths dig deep into the earth, enduring harsh and sometimes very dangerous conditions to extract valuable mineral deposits. Now, for some of these youths, it's just become a lifeline and an opportunity to break the cycle of poverty. But their resilience, innovation, and determination are transforming what once seemed like abandoned pits into sources of income, job creation, and economic independence by turning their mining ventures into platforms for employment, skills development, and renewed sense of hope. These young Nigerians are rewriting the narrative of mining on the plateau. Presidia Grumnang brings us this story.
We got some money from here for our daily bread, and to some extent during my education, it was part of what funded my education. To God be the glory. I think it's not bad. It has helped us a lot.
Mining is hard and a back-breaking work. Under the scorching sun, in choking dust and constant danger, young men and women dig deep into the earth in search of nature's hidden treasures. With white-collar jobs scarce, mining has become a lifeline, turning rocks and soil into income that feeds families, pays school fees, and keeps households afloat.
As you can see, we're here for hustle. No money to pay school fees, that's why we are here. So we pray that God will send our destiny helper to locate us, and we pray that government will help us too.
We do come here to mine so that we can sustain ourselves and have something to help our family.
Yet, behind the glimmer of gemstones and minerals lies another story, one of health hazards, environmental destruction, and social challenges. Accidents, injuries, polluted water and air, and the alarming rise in out-of-school children are stark reminders of the risks of unregulated mining.
If you can check our present situation, the rate of kidnapping and stealing has reduced because of mining. Because what we do here, we keep the youth busy.
What we succeeded in doing is that we succeeded in getting a lot of them incorporated. Some of them had to go and get CAC. Some of them register their papers with mines office. And some of them today own some various things. Mining industry is one of the biggest industries that has given employment to our youth, most especially on the plateau.
It is these concerns that prompted the Plateau State government to temporarily suspend mining activities. After a thorough review and licensing process, 159 mining companies have now been cleared to resume operations under stricter oversight. Stakeholders say government's plans to formalize artisanal miners into cooperatives and establish a gemstone skills acquisition center could be a game changer that will equip young miners with modern techniques, safety training, and sustainable practices.
From the federal government, luckily, this government is paying a lot of attention on diversifying the country's revenues, and mining is one of those sectors that they're paying particular attention. And that way, the state is also gaining from the policies that are trickling down from the federal level.
For youth miners, the hope is simple: to earn a decent living without losing their health, environment, or their future in the process.
You know, they say the best part of any story is the ending. But here on Newsline, we just leave the bookmark in. So sleep well, dream better, and wake up ready tomorrow to write your own headlines. And the conversation continues on all our social media handles: X, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, and of course, TikTok. And here's my 2 kobo for the week. If you must tell a story, let it be one worth rewriting on Newsline. And yes, remember, even the moon shows up every night just to remind us that consistency quietly outshines brilliance. Good night, everyone.